Hello, good evening. How was your day? And I hope you are following the training as we have been moving ahead. Um, Today, I'd like to welcome all of you for this segment of the training. Yesterday, we had a break. Today, we are here once again to continue from where we stopped. And we are getting close to the end of the training. Today is 21st of October, so we have just few days to complete the training. So I want to sincerely appreciate all of you that have been connecting persistently, consistently for this training. Today, I've been able to share the topics for our role playing training. So each group should be able to take notice of their topics and start working on. If you know your topic, start working on it, start rehearsing so that you can do your presentation when the time comes. So, but like I said, is the training is role playing. So you just practice your topic, rehearse, and then get yourself ready for your presentation. So we'll start doing presentation very, very, very soon. So those of you that have been following us, those of you that have been, you know, following us, those of you that did ADR, I think you understand what I'm talking about here now. So those of you that did ADR, what we are doing in role playing may not be difficult for you to follow up and doing catch up with what we expect you to do. So I will expect to see you do your presentation quickly because you have experience. But role playing training is for you to also get participated. Every group member should participate, and then you select a few members to represent your group, those who have strong network to do the presentation. You don't want to, that's why you put 20 in a group. Some groups are not up to, but we have up to 20 people in a group. So it means that you must select those that can guarantee of network, at least those that can give us 80% of network availability so that they can be able to do their presentation. If we have people that come in with network challenges, we disqualify you immediately because 20 of you should be able to identify people that have strong network. So the training, maybe by next week or so, we'll start this the role playing training. So number one, number two, number three, up to number 10 should be warming up, or up to number 15 should be warming up for next week's role playing I know training. So you do your presentation by next week. Group 1 to 15 by next week, get prepared. You understand? Then the other week we have group 16 to 30, and then like that. We may even do more than 15 groups next week. So, but let me just say it. Maybe we can do at least um 20 something groups in a week. because I want to use 3 weeks to complete the role playing training. So um, maybe we'll use 3 weeks to complete that. So we may do more than 20 in a week. So you people should just get prepared and get ready for it. Are you hearing me? So that's it. So today, if you join us, please kindly share the link with someone, put it on your wall, make them to know that this training is for them as well. Make your friends, your followers, let them know that this training is for them as well. They can also be part of it and it will benefit them really good. All right. So let them also join. Thank you very much for doing so. And by doing so, you'll be, promoting peace indirectly, right? Because you are helping the message to reach out to many people. And as they come to learn, they will practice, they will do what they have learned, and then they will spread peace and no conflict. Do you understand? So today we are going to look at what are we looking at today? We are looking at refugees, internally displaced persons, and migration. Refugees, internally displaced persons, and migration. All right. So these are the topics we are looking at today, or this is what we are looking at today. All right. So we'll talk about refugees. We'll talk about migration. We're talking about internally displaced person. It has to do with people who have been, moved from the place where they are to a new place as a result of either conflicts, as a result of either natural disaster occurrence, as a result of either human rights abuses, as a result of either persecution, uh, religious persecution, racial persecution, and other persecutions that can cause people to relocate or move from where they are to a different place. You understand? And this movement can happen within a state. It can be happen across the border. Do you understand? It can have when I mean state, what I mean by state is I mean within a country, or it can happen across the border. It can be a movement across the border. So, and this brings the categorization of the people we are looking at here, refugees, internally displaced person. Why migration is just a movement, and the movement can be done within or across the border. Do you understand? So these are the things that we are going to examine this evening. So what makes people to move? I have said it. It can be as a result of human rights abuses, persecution, war, or conflict, armed conflict, or natural disaster occurrence. All of this can make people towards can make people to move from one place to another. Do you understand? So if we see people moving from one place to another, something is pursuing them, something is moving them. Some people may migrate as a result of search for economic uh, activities. Do you understand? Because where they are, they cannot get what they want, so they move to another place. But there are other people that may move as a result of negative happenings. Do you understand? Like war, yes, so that is what it is. So we are going to look at refugees, internally displaced persons, and migration. All right. So we say that uh, these uh, these three they have something in common, although they mean different things altogether, but they have something in what common, but they mean different things. So let's look at what refugees means. When we say someone is a refugee, when we are referring to term refugees, what category of people are we referring to refugees? These are people who as a result of conflict or natural occurrences or as a result of persecution move from the country where they are to another country to seek asylum or to seek safety or to seek refuge. Do you understand? So that is what it is. So once you cross the border to another country, you are a refugee. Once you step into another country, you are a refugee. All right. So refugees are individuals who flee their home country due to what? Well-founded fear of persecution based on factors such as race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. Do you understand? People can move on this basis. Some people move because I am no longer a member of this country. So a lot of reasons may make people to move. Do you understand? But basically, persecution. So, but let's look at a legal definition of refugees according to the 1951 Refugee Convention and its protocols in 1967. All right. So let's look at what the international organization define refugees to mean. They say refugees have the right to seek asylum and what and are protected from forcible return to their home country. You understand? So refugees, once people move as a result of persecution to another place, another country, according to the international law, you are not to deport them, you are not to force them back. All right? You have to give them a place to stay. You are not permitted to send them back to where they are running away because something is pursuing them and they are running away from there. So you are not to send them back to their own country. Sending them back means that you are telling them to go and die. So it's a crime. If you don't have enough space to accommodate them, you seek for a neighboring country to accommodate them. Do you understand? So, and that's why in Europe, for instance, now, sometimes uh, Britain was saying that they don't have enough space to accommodate the refugees, so they have to seek the help of Turkey to accommodate some of them. And Turkey took a lot of them and explained them. Do you understand? So, example, Syrian fleeing the civil war, Rohingyas escaping persecution in Myanmar, Boko Haram people running from Boko Haram activities, taking refuge in Niger, in Chad, in Cameroon, in case of Nigeria. And yesterday we also mentioned how people ran away from Liberia and they were taking refugees in Ghana at some point in time. Do you understand? So uh, we have organizations here that take responsibility, which is the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. This is an institution that is a department under the United Nations that take care of or take charge of refugees issues. Do you understand? So let's look at internally displaced persons, IDPs, internally displaced persons. When we are talking about internally displaced persons, what are we referring to? Who are this category of people we're talking about? IDPs are people forced to flee their homes but to remain within their country's borders. They are not classified as refugees because they have not crossed international border. You see the difference? It's clear. So internally displaced persons are those people who have been moved from Borno to Yobe. or who have been moved from Yobe to Bauchi to seek refugees or to seek protection there. You understand? So they may be in camps. You understand? Some may move to Abuja to relocate. You understand? So that's what it is as a result of, but all of this is also as a result of persecution or armed conflict. Do you understand? People can still move within the country, but so far as they have not crossed the border, they are not being regarded as refugees until when they cross the border that they can be referred to as refugees. But so far as they are in a country where they have been displaced, they still remain internally displaced persons. Do you understand? So, and the causes of this can be armed conflict, natural disaster, human rights violations that can cause these things. All right. So, this is what it is. So, let's look at migration. What does migration mean? All right. So, migration refers to the movement of people across borders or within a country for reasons that may include economic opportunities, education, family reunification, or environmental factors. All of these can cause people to migrate. So most of us migrated. Eh? I'm a typical village person. You understand? I school in a village. All of my life I was school, primary school in village, secondary school in village. It's the university that took me out of my village. So I migrated from my home to Maiduguri for school. You understand? So I school in Maiduguri. I get the point now. So and today I'm in Abuja here. Migration is still happening. Do you understand? So after school, service in Akwa Ibom. After that, back to Sokoto. From Sokoto, back to Nasarawa. From Nasarawa to Jigawa. Jigawa, Abuja. And sometimes I went to Benue, play politics there as well. Do you understand? So migration, it's migration that's causing these things. Do you understand? And what are we doing? We are looking for one thing or the other, either education or economic issues. Do you understand? And then some people may move as a result of environmental factors. Maybe desertification or drought may also cause people to move. After a long period of no rain, may cause people to move. Most especially herdsmen, for instance, they can move as a result of long drought and there's no water for their animals, they can move. Do you understand? So all of those things, economic issues. So, and we have types of this migration. We have voluntary migration that is driven by choice, such as seeking better job prospects. So this one is voluntary. Education, voluntary, because we want to go and acquire knowledge. So it's a voluntary movement. Nobody is pursuing you. It's you. It's your choice. If you don't want to go to school, you can sit in your father's house. But so far as you make up your mind and say that I want to get education and I want it somewhere, and you move out of your town, you are migrating, and it's a voluntary mig- migration. And then we talk about forced migration. So includes refugees and IDPs, but may also involve people displaced by climate change or development projects. All of these can cause people to migrate. Do you understand? Within or across border. Do you understand? So these are the issues here. And some of this migration, most of them are illegally migrated or illegally done. They are illegal migration. For instance, people who move to cross the Atlantic Ocean into Europe. Do you understand? You know, sometimes people take dangerous steps just because they want to go and hurt you. So they take steps that sometimes is risk to their lives. You understand? So these are the issues. So we have what are the differences? What are the differences? The differences are here, but they also have an overlaps, all right, and complexities. But refugees and IDPs often originate from the same crisis, but differ in movement because once it may be the same crisis, but some people move like the Boko Haram activities when it was going on. Some people moved out of Nigeria, but some still remain in Nigeria. These same conflicts but different movements. Do you understand? That's what it means. Uh, Migrants and refugees may share similar routes, but their motivation and protection differs because, like, migrants or migration, as the case may be, they don't receive that. They don't have legal status. Do you understand? They don't receive protection like refugees. Do you understand? They don't. Climate change is creating new categories of displaced persons that challenge existing frameworks. Of course, people who are displaced by climate change, but they also must receive protection. Do you understand? So let's look at forced migration. Let's look at forced migration. Okay, what are the causes of forced migration and what are the consequences of forced migration? This is what I want us to look at this evening. All right. So forced migration refers to the involuntary movement of individuals or groups due to factors such as conflict, persecution, natural disasters, or environmental changes. It significantly affects both those displaced and the regions they live and move to. All right. So this is forced migration. So it's not everybody that is moving peacefully. Some people are moving because something is pursuing them. Something is after them. Something want to swallow them, and they are running for their lives. Do you understand? Yes, we've been moving. We're migrating. Maybe we will even be together, sir. But our purpose, our vision, our reason differs. You understand? Some are just looking for shelter. Some just want to get a better job, a better life somewhere. Some, it's just to japa. Do you understand? Let me just japa quick. Some cite economic issues, some cite this one, some cite bad governance, corruption, this one, let me jump out to where there's no much corruption. You understand? All of those issues can be reasons. So all of these are factors that make people to move, but the movement may differ based on several factors. Some may move voluntarily, some may move involuntarily. Do you understand? And of course, forced migration is an involuntary movement. People move not because they choose to move, but something is moving them. Something is pursuing them. When the FCT minister demolished people's houses, they were forced to move. In this case, something was pursuing them. It was a forced migration. Do you understand? So, what are the causes of forced migration? One, conflict and violence. Violence and conflicts can cause people to move. You see, I have some Borono people or some people from the northeast that they've asked them to go back. They are not ready yet. They moved to Abuja and they are comfortable living here. So going back, if you ask them to go, they are not willing to. You understand? But what made them to leave their own town because of conflict, Boko Haram, wars, and armed conflict, right, can cause people to move. This thing is seen in Syria, in Yemen, and in Sudan, right? It drives millions to flee for safety. So everybody's running just to, be safe from any form of disaster that may come their way, bullets or anything. You understand? So ethnic and religious persecutions, ethnic and religious persecution. I'm talking about conflict and violence. So under this, we see wars and armed conflict. We see ethnic and religious persecution. You understand? So this is also another conflict or violence where people disagree and fight over religious matters, over ethnic issues. Do you understand? So in this way, people are forced to leave their home countries, like the Rohingyas. The Muslims are suffering the small because the Muslims are the minority, so they're suffering. You understand? And we have several places where people um, are suffering as well. So these are the issues: terrorism and political instability. Insurgencies, like the issue of the Northeast in Nigeria, is also a critical example. Insurgencies for oppressive regimes often lead to forced displacement, right? So these are the issues. Human rights violations. Human rights what violations is another cause of forced migration. Under human rights violations, we have persecution, that is discrimination based on race, religion, gender, or political beliefs can result in mass displacement. So persecution. Many of our brothers in the southeast move out of Nigeria simply because they felt that there's no place for them in this country. So it's better to go out. And that's why you see a good number of them are out of Nigeria. I get a point now. Because there's a perceived persecution, right? There's a perceived marginalization. So they are moving out as a result of those issues. Do you understand? Then we'll talk about gender-based violence. Women and children often flee from forced marriages, trafficking, or sexual violence. So you have people who, as a result of sexual abuses, may also flee. They want to enter into a forced marriage, and this can make them to move forward and say, no, I not do again. I'm not part of it again. Yes, you understand? They say I not do again. I'm not part of it again. Then we'll talk about natural disaster is also another cause of conflict, forced migration, natural disasters, sudden events like earthquake, floods, and hurricanes force people to evacuate. Right? For example, the 2010 Haiti earthquake displaced millions. Do you understand? Yeah. So when hurricane is coming, who born you that you stand? When tsunami is coming, who born you to stand? Do you understand? It will pack everything. In fact, the wind, strong wind, will only carry you. Like you don't understand. It will drag you and your car to where you don't want. I get a point now. Flooding will come. Water is coming, you are standing. Who are you? It will carry you. So natural disasters. So in advanced countries where they have technology that help them to detect when hurricane is coming, they even have names for them. Hurricane Milton, this one that recently happened in US. Hurricane this one, hurricane that. You understand? When it's coming, sweep people, sweep places, destroy, massive destruction. But by then people must have been evacuated. So those that were evacuated were forced migration. The evacuation was not a peaceful one. It's because hurricane is coming. If you refuse to go, just wait. The next thing we hear of you is that you have departed to be with the Lord. And that is just it. You'll be buried and forgotten. You understand? So because these things don't respect you, they are a respecter of nobody. When they are coming, they are blind. They don't have ears. They don't hear anything until they do what they want to do. Natural disasters. You know they hear no, 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 wait, wait, no, no. They don't have that. Slow onset disaster. Slow onset disasters like droughts or desertification, particularly in regions like the Sahel, makes make areas uninhabitable. That is even where people are. These things still pursue them. Do you understand? You will not like to experience drought. Oh. We have climate change, rising sea levels, extreme weathers, and resource scarcity push communities to relocate. Yes. If you refuse to relocate, water may flow over banks and meet you, your house. And it may come even when you are sleeping. And what will happen? Development project can also display people, like the issue of ACT that I was talking about, where people were forced to leave their houses because development wants to take place, right? So large scale projects such as dams, urban renewals, or mining, okay, can possibly relocate communities without adequate compensation plan. So they carry bulldozer and then bulldoze your house and then send you away. You're on your own. As far as we care, we want to do development that will benefit you and other community members. So they don't care about you much. Right? So economic exploitation and human right trafficking. Or economic exploitation and human trafficking rather. So people may be possibly displaced due to land grabbing, all right, bonded labor, or trafficking for works or exploitation. So this may be a reason why some people they carry them. I saw one documentary where some young girls were picked from Imo State to Ghana. What were they there doing? Forced displacement or forced migration. Let's look at the consequences of forced migration. Number one, for individuals, that's the consequences for physical and mental health risk. It can make you suffer, can make you suffer, can make you suffer. Not think straight, you no reason straight. You understand? As a result of this, loss of property and livelihood. The consequences is that what you were doing that were earning you money, what you were doing that was earning you money, or the house you will think now I don't have any problem of shelter now. They push you into shelterless, and then you begin to look for a house here and there to rent. You understand what I'm talking about? So migrants, post migrants, leave behind homes, jobs, and personal belongings. Because sometimes it's coming, there's no time for you to go and carry anything. You have to just run for your life. So you say, well, so far as life is still there, I can still make it. I can still do a lot of things. I can still recover. Do you understand? So you run and leave your belongings, leave everything, leave your home. Sometimes you may not even go far. You stand and watch your house being washed away by water, being destroyed by fire, being destroyed by anything. The consequences for host communities. So it's not only the individuals that have been displayed that suffer consequences, but what happened? Even the host communities, because the people are coming in, already communities are already strong. So now we're having more people coming in the community. It means that more strain and economic scarcity. Do you understand? So social tension, yes. Competition for jobs and resources may lead to conflict, all right, between locals and migrants. Do you understand? Because like it's like when you see a lion stepping into a new territory where there is another lion controlling that territory. What do you expect? Should be peaceful, right? No, no, no. They must give you a challenge of your life. You understand? If you cannot survive it, you disappear. Cultural exchange. In some cases, migrants enrich host societies through cultural diversity and skills. Yes. Sometimes migrants may come in with special skills, and this can make the community more colorful, more productive. Are you gonna pray now? So this is it. For countries of origin, the consequences on countries of origin is that loss of human capital. So when people are moving out of Nigeria, don't celebrate. Oh, don't celebrate. Now, with there's what they were calling the brain drain in Nigeria. That is, people are moving. Those that have what it takes to maintain our economy, those that have what it takes to maintain our hospitals, those that have what it takes to manage institutions, those that have what it takes to build institutions are moving out of the country. So you are here jubilating. Jubilating what? You should be crying when you see talented people, able-bodied people moving the country. You have no reason to celebrate. You should be crying. And in Nigeria, they are moving out in mass. So it's not something to brag about. Yesterday, we are feeling that, okay, President Tinubu was in Brazil, and I was expecting to fumble, somersault fumbling. You don't go to a particular place and begin to tell them your problem. How can you, as a marketer, want to say a product and all you can tell your buyer is your problem, the problem of the product, and all of the problems and problems and problems? So how can the marketer buy that? They say the buyer buy that product. You tell me. You go and sit in the front of international leaders, leaders and business individuals who come to seek for opportunities and countries where they can go and invest. And all you can lament and tell us is how Nigeria is suffering and the issue of Boko Haram, how Nigeria is suffering the issue of kidnapping, how Nigeria is suffering this one, how Nigeria is this one, this one. Who wants to come to this kind of country to come and invest? You know my point now? Telling us how people are living in your country because of no jobs. See, if I have an opportunity to speak concerning Nigeria, speak in a positive dimension. In fact, not only Nigeria. Okay, I'm talking to so many people here now. I'm talking about Nigerians and non-Nigerians. So now, if you have an opportunity to talk about your country, present your country well. All right. represent your country well. No country is free of challenges, right? And most especially at the leadership level, when we are looking on to you to say something that will protect the image of that of your country, and then you keep quiet, or you say the negative, you are a disappointment. It's when I'm teaching here that sometimes I make references to the bad element of this country. As far as I'm concerned, it's a beautiful country. It doesn't matter what is available or what is not. It doesn't matter the negative leadership experience we're having. It doesn't matter. Nigeria still remains a beautiful country. Do you understand? It's only when I'm teaching here that I'm going to bring out some of the bad elements so that those of you that are learning can adjust when you are in position of leadership. Adjust. So it also weaken communities, weakening of communities. The departure of large populations erode social and family networks. Do you understand? Prolonged crisis, conflict zones experience cyclical what violence as display of population struggle to return. So these are it. So for global stability, what are the consequences? Humanitarian crisis. If you look at the border between Morocco and Spain, you discover that it's always on fire because of migrants. Humanitarian crisis. People have to be attended to, have to, once you're able to cross to Spain, chicken, huh? They're not going to send you back, they'll have to accommodate you. Just make sure you cross, stay away. You understand? So, political frictions, disputes over border control, asylum policies, and resource allocation can strain relations between nations. Imagine security threats. Imagine security threats. Displacement can lead to radicalization or cross-border tension, especially in protracted crisis. For instance, now some people, as a result of conflict, may also turn out to be armed robbers, criminals, taking advantage of what is happening. Do you understand? So it's a security threat. So let's look at international laws and refugees. International laws plays a critical role in defining and protecting the rights of refugees and ensuring that states fulfill their obligations towards displaced people. Do you understand? So, what are the key international legal instruments here? We have 1951 Refugee Convention, which stated some of the things that we are mentioning here. Then we talk about the convention relating to the status of refugees adopted July 28, 1951. Purpose defines who is a refugee, their rights, and the obligation of the state towards them. Because as a state, you have to accommodate them, you want to send them away. Definition of a refugee: a person with a well-founded fear of persecution due to race, due to religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group. Political opinion: the individual must be outside their country of origin and unable or unwilling to return due to their fears. You understand? Another international law is the 1967 Protocol. expanded the 1951 Convention's scope by removing geographic and temporal restrictions, initially limited to Europe and events before 1901. Core principles of refugee protection. Now refoulement. Now refoulement. States cannot return refugees to territories where their life or freedom will be at risk due to persecution. So, as a state or as a country, you are not to return people who are running away from prosecution or persecution. You don't. People who are persecuted should receive protection from you, not to put them back. Right to seek asylum. So, as a refugee, you have the right to seek and enjoy asylum in another country. However, asylum is not an automatic right but is subject to state sovereignty. You understand? So, non-discrimination. Non-discrimination. Refugees protection must be applied without discrimination and without discrimination based on race, religion, or country of origin. Rights and obligation of refugees. Refugees are entitled to basic human rights. Of course, they are like any other human beings. Access to court, of course, education and employment, protection from penalties, protection from penalties for illegal entry. Refugees also have obligation to abide by the law, so in their host communities. You understand? Oh, you are following me, right? So if I've just joined us, you can share the link with someone, let them be part of the training. We are moving forward. Like I said, we have shared topics for our role playing training. So those of you that have not participated, uh, have not joined a group, please join a group so that you can be able to participate and contribute. Without your participation, you may not write the exam well. So, like us, just join a group, be there, participate, contribute to make the group successful, and then of course you will be given opportunity to write the exams. Because if your group leader say we don't know you, me too I don't know you. if your if your group leader rejected you, like they say we don't know you, just consider that you have been rejected already by me. uh Because by the time your group leader say I don't know you, you were not active in our group, so we don't have anything to do with you. Just conclude that I also don't have anything to do with you. So that there's no point in reaching out to me. Just conclude that I have said no already. You understand? So no waste time. So better join a group. So you not come and tell me I didn't have a group. Oh, I didn't know that I was to have a group. Oh. Let's look at the role of internal organization, international organization. What is the role? The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees was established in 1950. What was demanded? Protect and assist refugees. Protect and assist what refugees? Seek durable solutions. Voluntary repatriation, local integration, or resettlement, and ensure the implementation of international refugee law. Right? So talk about voluntary repatriation, local integration, or resettlement, and ensure the implementation of international refugee. right? This is the role of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. See, they are everywhere doing a lot. International Organization for Migration. International Organization for what? Migration. International Organization for Migration, right? Something's coming in my head. That's why I want it to, I want to internalize it so I will not forget it. That's why I keep quiet. I give a space, right? So that when I'm done with this lecture, I'll go and jot it down and make use of it later. Do you understand? So, International Organization for Migration, IOM, though not specific to refugees, IOM addresses broader migration issues, including those affecting displaced persons. Regional bodies like African Union, right? AU Refugee Convention 1969, but then it was Organization of African Union, expanded the refugee definition in Africa to include people fleeing general or generalized violence and even an event disrupting public order. All right. So Cartagena Declarations 1984, a Latin American instrument broadening refugee criteria to include threats from human rights violations and instability. So, but what are the challenges in international refugee law? One, there are gaps in legal protection. Refugees fleeing environmental disaster or climate change lack specific legal protection. Yes, you say, oh, I'm displaced by flood. Nothing like that to protect you. Sovereignty versus responsibility. States often resist accepting refugees due to concern about sovereignty, security. So that's why it is. So states sometimes refuse to collect. Do you understand? You. That's why I'm saying that the other time, Britain said no, 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 we cannot accommodate them. Any of the European nations should pick some of them. Turkey pick a good number of them. Do you understand? And so that is how it is. So sometimes states may say no, and you will not force them to accept. Do you understand? Burden sharing. Burden sharing. So refugee hosting is uneven, with developing countries shouldering most of the burden. Calls for equitable responsibility sharing often go unmet. Protracted crisis. So when crises are prolonged, they become so difficult to address, and many more refugees continue to reduce. And so these are the issues. Let's look at the role of United Nations Human Rights Human Commission, High Commissioner for Refugees. That is United Nations Human High Commissioner for Refugee is the leading global organization tasked with the role of safeguarding the rights and well-being of refugees. It was established in 1950. Its mandate has expanded to include internally displaced persons. So, what's the role of UN UNHR? They have key functions. Number one is protection. Protect the refugees, advocate for and ensure the enforcement of refugees' rights. Let their rights be enforced. Let them be covered. Let it let them advocate, right? So they have been advocating for the right of the refugees, right? Humanitarian assistance. They have been providing humanitarian assistance to also the refugees, right? Shelter, food, water, healthcare, and education in refugee camps and urban settings where they are being accommodated. Do you understand? Durable solutions, right? They are the role of the UNHCR is to bring durable world solutions to the problem that people are moving, but it has been a complex problem. Do you understand? So even such kind of durable solution may not be quick obtainable. Do you understand? May not be quick to obtain. So we'll talk about voluntary repatriation. Yes, assisting refugees to return safely to their home countries. So you are not forcing them, you are not compelling them, but you are just assisting them, those who want to return quietly to their home countries. Do you understand? Local integration, supporting integration into the host community, right? So the host community may absorb some of them, and keep them with them. Do you understand? Give them a space, give them land. They can also do a lot to build the community where they find themselves. So that's why it is resettlement, coordinating third country resettlement for vulnerable refugees. So sometimes people may say, I don't want to go. I don't want to go back. And the host community is saying that we are tired of you. So another country will have to come in and pick them. You understand? Advocacy and legal support promotes the implementation of international refugees and advocate for refugees inclusion in international or national systems. Data collection and monitoring tracks refugees' movements and needs to inform global and local responses. So let's look at the role of government. National government are primary actors in managing refugee crisis, right? So they should know. Asylum system ensure fair and efficient processing of asylum claims, right? Because there are some claims that people do level, so give them the opportunity. Provision of service or of services, policy and registrations. All of these are the key role of government. What are the challenges? Political resistance to accepting refugees, limited resources in developing nations, which host the majority of refugees, like Turkey, Pakistan, Uganda. Do you understand? So, political resistance. What's the role of non-governmental organizations? Non-governmental organizations play a vital role in addressing immediate and long-term needs during refugee crisis. What's the key contribution here? Service delivery, advocacy, capacity building, collaboration. All of these are the functions that non-governmental organizations play. Carry out advocacy where there's need for, you know, get child education. They carry out advocacy, meet emirs, meet religious leaders, and become effective. Role of regional organizations like the African Union, they implement the 1969 AOU Refugee Convention, which broadens refugee definitions. European Union, of course, coordinate refugee responses across member states through resettlement programs and funding mechanisms. Organization of African States also support refugees protection via the Cartagena Declarations, right? The role of local communities. So all the parties have a role to play. Host communities are on the front lines of refugee crisis and play a crucial role in integration and support. Do you understand? So whereby you are to integrate, where you are to, refer. Social integrations, livelihood support, yes, let them integrate with the people socially, and of course, their livelihood must also be respected so that they can continue. Role of the private sector. So the private sector has become increasingly involved in refugee responses. Of course, when there are challenges, you see some of them giving private jet go and carry people. When some students were stranded in South Sudan or in Sudan, Alex APs gave flights to go and evacuate the people. The other side, they also do a lot. So innovative solutions. So private sector bring innovative solutions to problems. Do you understand? So what are the coordination and challenges in refugee management? Let's look at the coordination. UNHCR led coordination. They lead coordination. They lead refugees response frameworks to ensure corporate cooperation among actors. All right. So cluster approach divides responsibilities among agencies for specific sectors, food, shelter, and health, so that they will be handling different activities. Public-private partnership enhance resources and innovative approach. So what are the challenges? It is not without challenges. There are challenges. One, resource gap. Humanitarian operations often face funding shortages. Yes, because the institution that also raise money to do humanitarian work, they pay their salaries, do a lot of movement, buy a lot of equipment, all of this. So political resistance is another challenge. Security concern is another challenge. So if we see people who are displaced and are within Nigeria without crossing the border, know that these are the internally displaced persons. And if you see those that are from Nigeria but they are in Chad as a result of Boko Haram activities, we call them the refugees. And then when people are moving, just have in mind that what they are doing is migration but with different purpose. Is there any question? Otherwise, I'm done with today's class. Any question? Any question? So, like I said, before we go, we have shared topics for groups. From group 1 to 72, we share topics. So if you're not in any group yet, try and be in a group. You understand? Because link to the examination, we are going to share it through group leaders and Only those who participate effectively will be given the link for the examination. So please do wait to get your group. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow by 7 p.m. Our annual convention is coming up by next week. I invite all of you to attend. So far as those of you that can attend, attend. But there's a registration fee as well. So if you want to attend the convention, you pay a registration fee. All right. So do well to be part of our convention coming up next week, Saturday. Thank you very much and have a wonderful night.